facilities, of course, try to save money wherever they can. And so there's a couple mistakes that we commonly see. Number one, when you talk about the dust collection system itself as a big CapEx project where you're having to spend money on equipment, installation, and so forth, customers will sometimes choose the lowest bidder, not realizing that there are some very critical sizing requirements and design requirements for dust collection system. For example, some companies will undersize a dust collector. They'll make it almost big enough, but essentially they'll undersize it a little bit so that they can win on cost. If the buyer is not looking carefully, they may see the 3 quotes that they go get and they're going to pick the lowest cost, not realizing that it's, the collector is slightly undersized or the fan is slightly undersized, which is going to lead in future months and years, especially, to a system that's not performing as well as it should. You're going to have issues with airflow. Velocity may be too low in the ductwork, leading to plugging and accumulation of dust in the ductwork. You don't have the suction quite as much as you need at the pickup points. So that's number one, undersizing. I would say to address that, the responsible engineer or project manager, whoever is responsible for selecting the equipment, number one, make sure you have reputable, knowledgeable suppliers quoting you for equipment. Obviously, I recommend baghouse.com, be part of that process. And number two, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. So if the system is, 20,000 CFM system, make sure that the equipment quotes that you're looking at have similar filter areas, similar fan horsepower and operating capacity, so that you're looking at apples to apples comparisons and you're not going to get bit by a supplier who's underbidding with an undersized system, probably knowing that at some point in the future you'll have issues with it. Number two is deferred maintenance. So this is common because, dust collection systems require maintenance. You got to change the filters sometimes. You have to do regular inspections on them. You have to grease the bearings. You have to check the differential pressures. Sometimes you have to change out a timer board or a solenoid or a diaphragm valve. If those things don't get done, whether out of just, not planning or poor planning, or because, trying to save costs, let's not change the filters, let's wait till next quarter. Well, your risk is that you're going to start seeing issues with the dust collection system. Filters are plugged, they should be changed. If you wait, you're not going to have quite as much dust collection. You're going to have a higher differential pressures. You're going to have more, dust escaping your process. You're using more power in your filter cleaning systems. Your fans are working harder, and ultimately you're running the risk of filter leakage, emissions, and all kinds of things. So, those are the two big ones. It comes down to sizing and making sure you're getting the right equipment up front, not cutting costs where you shouldn't. And then deferred maintenance, make sure you have good planning for filters, spares, and general maintenance so that your systems will run like they're supposed to in the long run and you don't end up with, unplanned costs because of that.